It does seem as if the people that were giving the money were potentially doing something a little bit shady.
The feud brewing between Pat McAfee.
You're no better than the next person.
Right.
And make sure that you are conscious of that each and every day.
And Brett Favre is going full steam ahead.
NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre is facing questions tonight of whether he knowingly took $5 million of state welfare money to build a new volleyball facility for his daughter's team 5 years ago at her university and his alma mater.
After allegations surfaced against the Hall of Famer,
Brett Favre asked the head of a nonprofit handling welfare funds, quote, "If you were to pay me, is there any way that the media could find out where it came from and how much?"
with texts such as these coming to light.
I'd like to say thank you more so than ever to all my followers.
He made limited appearances in front of a camera.
I've officially been served by Brett Favre. Served me the papers. It's officially official. I have been sued by Brett Favre. Here we go.
Let's go. Congratulations.
But used former Donald Trump counsel Eric Hirschman to sue former NFL player and sports media host McAfee.
So I would like to let the New York lawyers that wrote me 2 letters before this thing got announced. First letter was, we would like you to go back and erase every single video that has Brett Favre's name mentioned in it from your YouTube library, your Twitter library, and everything else. This is a warning shot, pretty much. So I looked at that. I said, that is hilarious.
New text messages show the pressure former NFL quarterback Brett Favre was putting on then Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant. Favre requested money for an indoor football practice facility to help recruit a player for his college alma mater, the University of Southern Mississippi, in 2019. The funding in question from a grant program intended for low-income families. The governor responded to Favre's request. Use of these funds is tightly controlled. Any improper use could result in violation of federal law.
Former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant, it appears, tried warning Favre.
As this has just been unfolding, the main players of this scheme, namely Phil Bryant and Brett Favre, have sort of tried to make excuses for their involvement.
Well, the journalist who broke the story, Anna Wolf of Mississippi Today, said the direct involvement of Favre and Bryant made them major players.
Then a few days later, you have until Wednesday a public apology to Brett Favre and also to erase all of the video in your catalog that involved Brett Favre's name. So now I had a deadline, 8:30. I was planning on doing it.
Yeah.
We played pickleball.
Sure. We did.
I'll see you in court, pal. First time getting sued, it means we're in the big leagues now.
McAfee, however, remains undeterred. So after McAfee filed a motion to dismiss Favre's lawsuit claiming actual malice, Favre followed it up by filing an amended defamation lawsuit. And then after that, McAfee went on the offensive. So here's that. McAfee, at 35 years old, filed a motion to dismiss the defamation suit altogether. Favre claims the former punter made libelous statements against him on McAfee's national show. The former Indianapolis Colt says it is a baseless case and that having to defend his character against the charges at hand could unduly burden his free speech.
These new court documents filed by Bryant's attorneys allege Favre and former nonprofit director Nancy New, who has already pleaded guilty to fraud in the $77 million scheme, were requesting funds from the Mississippi Department of Human Services to build the facility.
McAfee touched on it.
BFE, drop BFE. Brett Favre Enterprises. To drop Brett Favre Enterprises side of the story, and we will judge it accordingly.
Right.
But for the information that we have currently, every time his name gets brought up, we have to mention
Hands are tied.
Have to do it.
Well,
he tied the hands of the poor people and took money right out of their pockets.
That's right.
In his motion to dismiss, McAfee's attorneys would write the following. The host had no personal knowledge of any of the relevant facts and was just reporting on allegations against Favre. In light of the abundant public allegations against the Hall of Famer, Favre has not and plainly cannot plead actual malice, per McAfee, who says the Packers' great cherry-pick statements that McAfee made in order to paint himself as the victim. In meritless cases like this one, there is a powerful interest in ensuring free speech is not unduly burdened by the necessity of defending against expensive, baseless litigation, the motion would read. More from McAfee's attorneys. No reasonable listener would have interpreted his comments as actual statements of fact about Favre. They did add, though, that even if listeners did view what McAfee said as fact, those statements would be substantially true.
Even though football player, incredibly tough football player, durable football player, good football player, did a lot of things. Certainly in the middle of stealing from poor people in Mississippi right now.
Absolutely.
Have to chat about that.
Now, Favre, as we know, has denied any wrongdoing and hasn't been charged criminally. However, he was named in a civil suit filed by the Mississippi Department of Human Services over his alleged involvement to divert $3.2 million in welfare funds to himself, a for-profit biotech company, and a volleyball facility at his alma mater, the University of Southern Mississippi. His motion to dismiss the case was denied, as we have covered previously. Check it out on demand if you search Brett Favre on the TYT Sports YouTube channel and Facebook page. Is this: Brett Favre is bringing litigation against Pat McAfee. He is also bringing litigation against State Auditor Shad White and fellow Football Hall of Famer Shanon Sharpe, who is a broadcaster with Fox Sports 1.